All right, so it has become kind of apparent to me that a lot of people don't know how to properly clean and maintain an instrument anymore. So I have decided to take my time and show you how to properly take care of a silver plated instrument. So as we can see, it's old, it's got some stuff wrong with it, but if you look in, you can see all these really dark spots all along here, and you have a lot of tarnish and buildup and just nasty stuff that makes it look really bad. You've got stuff on the bell right here, and it just doesn't look too great. So I'm going to show you how to go about that, how to take care of it, how to take it apart, all the steps for cleaning your valves and your pistons and your slides and taking care of those and getting any calcium buildup that you might have from playing out of it, and also how to polish this and clean it and get all the junk off of there and really make it shine. All right, so to start, you need to go ahead and break the whole thing apart. I've got a towel set to the side right here that you'll be able to just sit on the bed, do something where you have an open space. So make sure every time before you take it apart that you have your valves, and if you have a trigger like this right here, you have them all pressed in to relieve any pressure on the inside of the tubing, so that the pressure does not create a vacuum-like suction and can actually cause the slides to pull in and they won't fit correctly anymore, and then you have to take them to a repair shop, and it's a lot of money. So let's go ahead and start taking this apart. So to start, we're going to go ahead and we're going to press in all of our valves, and now we're going to take our slides one by one, just get them out of there and just lay them down out of the way. All right, now that that's done, you have everything apart. You need to take apart your pistons that you just had pressed down. So you have your little caps on them, which are right here, and you have to untwist them if they're stuck. Get something to get them unstuck with. Go ahead and remove those, and you set those to the side. Make sure you also reach inside the casing right here, if your fingers are long enough. Mine aren't. And remove your springs. Might take a couple tries. Get those out of there. Sometimes they're kind of hard to get out. And then the next one, and keep them in order too. You want 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, that way you don't get it mixed up. Almost every time you have them, they're numbered, so it's kind of hard to lose track of them. And then we're gonna do this again on number 4. All right, after that's done, go ahead and get the springs out. And then I'm gonna skip a couple seconds and I'm gonna show you what to do next. So now that you have this whole thing taken apart, you have all your slides, your pistons, your springs, everything taken apart, you can go ahead and look inside each, piston casing, valve casing, whatever you want to call it. You see there's gunk and stuff built up in there. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get that out. But there's not only just in here, it's gonna be in here, in the slides. Because when we play, spit, water goes through there and it builds up little calcium deposits, and that's not good because it can make these slides get stuck. Then you have to take it to a repair shop, and it's just not fun. So before we get done to clean any of these, we need to take our pistons apart. And each of these pistons has 3 parts. You have the little cap that your fingers go on in a felt, the cap that screws on the piston intact, and then that felt. You need to twist this off like this. It'll come off eventually. And then any second now, there we go. Lay it down, push off the felts, push off the cap, and then that one, it takes 2 hands to get off because you don't want to break it. I'll do that, but you have to do it to all 4 of them. And then you're going to take it and you're going to let all these little parts right here that aren't in the felts and these slides soak in lukewarm tub water with some type of dish detergent, whether it be Dawn or Ajax or something like that. And that's going to clean. You're going to let them sit for about 15 or 20 minutes. I've got water running right now, getting it all ready. And then we're going to move on to cleaning this and polishing it up. Now that we have our slides soaking in the water, we're going to throw in our pistons also. They've been taken apart, like I showed in the prior clip. Put them in there, and these are going to soak for a little while. what's going to happen is that the calcium's getting broken up by the warm water and the soap, and it's just going to clean them up real good, get it out of there, and once they're done, you dump them. You'll see a lot of green stuff come out. Hopefully it comes out at least. And then just wait now. So now it's time to go and clean the actual outside of the horn. So it's time to go ahead and get this cleaned. So this right here is Brasso. It is a metal polish and tarnish remover, and tarnish is what we call all of that buildup and just nasty stuff that comes up on the metal plating. Certain things like wear right there, that's just raw brass. There's no more plating. That right there, the thumb ring, I had it removed, so it's just raw metal. It'll clean up, it'll shine it a little bit, and then the silver, it'll make it look more like a mirror and less like this. You see all the fingerprints and all the arm prints and everything. It's going to really take care of those. All right, so we have our Brasso right here. We're going to shake it up really well, because you need to shake it up because it separates, because it has ammonia in it. And get yourself a rag that you don't really care about too much right here. Just something to put it on there with, you know, and let it sit for a second, then wipe it off with. So I'm going to go ahead and just get a little bit down the body of it, down here, around. Do remember to act a little quickly, because this will remove the silver if you're not careful. Go ahead and do that. It's going to sit on there, and we're going to go ahead and work it in. And I'm not going to show the whole thing. I'm just going to give you a brief little thing. This seemed to be the worst spot right here, so I'm going to go ahead and work through it real quick. Just take it and scrub it in a big circular motion. It stinks a little bit. If you haven't done it for a while, you might need some type of face covering to kind of help yourself out a little bit. We're going to go down through here, get all those really bad spots. The spots are just real ugly and dirty and nasty that aren't clean anymore. We go through here on the lead pipe. All right, I'm going to go through and clean this right here and let it sit for not too long, just a little bit, maybe 3 minutes at the most. We'll go through here and just rub down any spots you see, because if you see that right there, this is white, and you see all that's grayish silver color? That is just nasty, just gunk that is built up. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut the camera, and I'm gonna finish this up and show you what it looks like after. All right, so I'm gonna show you now. This rag has plenty of that Brasso on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around, and as we're wiping it down, I've worked it in. You're gonna go through and just find any other spots that you didn't liberally apply it, and take the rag, and like these piston casings on the outside, they're very dirty. They have an orangish brownish tint to them. A lot of that has to do with just the oils from your hands and your skin. They don't take too kindly to silver like this, and you just really have to work it in and go around it, and just really make sure you're doing a really good job at not missing a spot. And then after this, what I'm going to do is I have a microfiber cloth. I like to go through there. I just feel like it kind of helps shine it up a little bit better. And then we're going to go over it with this right here, which is a silver polishing cloth, and it's really going to bring out the shine. All right, so I've gotten the rag right here. I've taken it and I have wiped down the whole entire thing, but now it's time to really help this thing shine and pop and really look good. So we're gonna take a microfiber cloth right here, just a white one. That's gonna get dirty, it's okay. And we're just gonna go across everything and then just really work in that cleaner and polish that comes in the Brasso. Just make sure you get all the nooks and crannies. There's gonna be certain spots you might miss. You may have to go over it a second time, that's okay. I have to do it all the time. So just really go over here, make sure you get everything just polished really nice, and just remove the fingerprints or any smears, anything like that, and just really work it in and do that across the whole horn. And then you're gonna do the same thing to your slides, which we're gonna get to in just a second. All right, so these have been sitting probably 15-25 minutes or so while we were cleaning the outside of the horn. Now it's time to get them out, bring them to your workspace and clean them up. Get them cleaned up, polished up. I'm not going to show the polishing routine. It's going to be the same thing you did on the rest of the metal, but I am going to show you how to, properly oil them and grease them and everything else. But we're going to go ahead and clean these up, get them put back on the horn, and then I'm going to show you a final little pass through of what all the hard work has done. This whole task will probably take 35-45 minutes. Depends how long you've done it, just how thorough you want to be. But let's go ahead and get these cleaned up and back on the tuba. Alright, so we've gotten all the slides. They've been put back in. They've been greased. For grease, I recommend this stuff right here. Probably some of the best stuff I've ever had. This whole bottle, I've had it like 3 or 4 years, and it's lasted me a long time. You don't need a lot of it, just a couple drops on the slides. You see I've got a little bit of excess right there, but that's okay. Work it in, and then they will go in fine. I'm about to put the pistons back together, oil them. I prefer Ultra Pure. It's really good stuff. Purified everything, and that's kind of hard to find. Works really well. Don't have to use a lot of it either, but I'm about to put these back together, put a few drops of this on each of them, put them back together, and then show you what it looks like. All right, so here's the final product. Much cleaner, much nicer. None of those little brown faded spots. Much cleaner. I went ahead and I put my protective pads back on to protect them from further wear, further tarnishing, just kind of keep the oils off of it. But yeah, that is pretty much all in all how to do a quick cleaning on your horn instead of taking it to a shop and paying $200 or $300 and just doing it at home.